from their studio in Daniel Plainview's mansion.
Bastard from a basket!
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I see you're drinking 1%. Is that because you think you're fat?
Talk radio.
These count to 11.
From what I hear, you couldn't hit water if you fell out of a fucking boat.
Who is he?
He's an asshole, sir.
I know that. What's his name?
That is his name, sir.
Asshole. Major asshole.
Welcome to Filmgoat.
Welcome to Filmgoat. Welcome to Filmgoat.
Welcome to Filmgoat.
Where's Pancake's house?
What's up, guys? This is Filmgoat, January 12th, 2016. I'm Michael.
I'm Jason.
I'm David.
And once again, it's Oscar time. We've made it to the 75th Oscars, which is the year for 2002. It happened in 2003, these Oscars, but it was for the year of 2002.
Yes.
So,
of 2002.
What was nominated, David?
The nominees were...
For Best Picture. We're going there first.
Yes, obviously, yes.
Obviously.
Okay. Chicago, Gangs of New York, The Hours, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Pianist.
A horrible year.
My favorite Lord of the Rings film. Was
Yes.
nominated.
The winner was Chicago.
Oh, yes. Too bad Lord of the Rings wasn't a musical.
They were just happy that a musical was back. They wanted to give it to Moulin Rouge the year before, but they didn't. So they decided to rectify it this year. He had it coming.
But
He
Gangs
ran
of New
into my
York,
knife 10 times. Stupid bitches. That movie's just about feminism at its worst. Chicago. And the Two
Is it?
Towers.
I've only seen bits and pieces.
Jason loves the Two Towers, apparently, though.
Oh, and Gangs of New York.
It's
Which-
good. It's not one of my favorite Scorsese movies. It has its moments
Yeah.
for sure.
It was long.
Yeah. Or so a lot of
Probably,
God, it was long.
probably a little longer than it needed to be.
Yeah, definitely dry. There's definitely a lot of brothel scenes when they're just kind of lying around.
But anything with
drugged up.
Daniel Day-Lewis in it. Any scene with him, and it was just fantastic.
He's certainly incredibly watchable in the movie.
He's a charismatic individual.
Yes, charismatic, evil, not very nice, but charismatic. He's great.
Certainly don't take your eyes off of him.
That was the first movie he did in a while too, because he kind of semi-retired, like in the late '90s, sort of. Then he came back for Gangs.
The Return.
Yeah, the return of the gang. No, it's called Gangs in New York. Still great.
The Return of the Day. Lewis.
Yeah.
Ooh!
Chicago not as good as Gangs in New York, but the Pianist is good. It's another, Holocaust movie, and you know what you're doing there.
Another one.
And that's what won and
Best actor.
Polanski won for director. For
Did
it.
he?
Mhm.
Yes, he did.
He can't accept any awards now. He can't come back to the country, but we gave him one there. Because
Yeah.
if anyone doesn't know, Roman Polanski was a survivor of the Holocaust, and Steven Spielberg actually wanted him to direct Schindler's List and had no idea Roman Polanski survived the Holocaust. He offered it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I kind of was there. I don't know if I can make that. It's kind of upsetting." And Steven Spielberg immediately was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Like, apparently it's a famous story. He was like, "I'm so sorry." He's like, "Yeah, my mom died in there." "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Roman."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was bad. So he finally
All right.
made his movie.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. So it's not a heartwarming movie, to say the least. The Pianist. Adrian Brody. The happiest moment is when he escaped the ghetto and then kissed Halle Berry at the end. But that was in real life. What else was nominated again? It was Chicago, Two Towers. Oh, yeah, Two Towers.
The Hours, Gangs of New York, and
The Hours.
Yeah, those are the other
Nicole
three.
Kidman won for Best Actress, didn't she? And she just had like a nose thing.
Yes. Yeah, she had the fake
She had
nose.
the fake nose.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Playing Virginia Woolf.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. I didn't see that movie. I had
Never
no
did I.
interest in seeing The Hours. It looked like The Bitches.
Chris Cooper won Best Supporting Actor
For adaptation.
for adaptation. Now, this is arguably, in my mind, probably Nicolas Cage's best movie.
Probably.
One of his best movies. Because he actually plays a character. And what's funny
he actually
is
plays a character.
not just
Nicolas Cage.
a depressed. Yeah, exactly.
God
So,
forbid you use voiceover in your work.
Good old Nicky.
Brian Cox.
Adaptation I like better than all the movies nominated for Best Picture, personally.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Kaufman.
Meryl Streep.
It's almost like a strange biography of Charlie Kaufman that he wrote about himself. Autobiography.
Adaptation was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay.
What was it adapted from?
The Orchid Thief by Susan Orlean.
What
the whole
the movie is about.
The Ouroboros, that is that movie. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
But what's funny is Charlie and Donald Kaufman were nominated.
Yeah.
Donald Kaufman is not real. He's fictional.
Yeah. And they said he died like when he won it or something. It's like some weird joke.
Posthumously nominated.
Yeah. Which is pretty funny. And they nominated a not real person. I don't know if we should take the Academy Awards seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what's funny about the movie though is, and two, I think there's some other stuff surrounding it. I think you look up a few things that are mentioned in the film.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like on the web, like there's a few fake websites out there that kind of try and make it seem legit. It's kind of the fun of the movie. But anyway,
Who won Best Actor this year?
it was Adrian Brody.
For
That's
the
right.
pianist.
Yeah, I already
yeah.
said that.
But anywho, supporting act. David, I want you to continue your story, but then I want to talk about the supporting actor category.
Which
and go.
story?
What story was I?
Oh, were you? I thought you were talking about something.
Jason knows nothing. We're going to ignore Jason for the rest of the episode.
I was talking about how Donald Kaufman was
Not real.
And the story was in
Oh,
it.
end of story. Okay, but the best supporting actor, what? That was some competition there. Ed Harris for The Hours, Paul Newman for Road to Perdition.
Paul Newman.
wow.
John C. Reilly for Chicago, and Christopher Walken for Catch Me If You Can.
Who won?
Jeez.
Ed Harris?
No,
Chris Cooper.
Chris Cooper.
Oh, that's right. I already said
Adaptation.
that.
I like how we're all paying attention on this episode here.
Clearly. Paul Newman should have won because that was his last live action role. Unfortunately, his last role was in Cars, and he was an old car.
Really? Because I think I like Christopher Walken in Catch Me If You Can. I really enjoyed Catch Me If You Can.
I wouldn't think that would be an Oscar-winning role, though.
It's entertaining for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But he just plays his dad, right?
Yeah.
Good movie. Catch you, catch me if you can. I'll catch you. You catch me. Tom Hanks, Leo, Steven Spielberg.
But Chris Cooper's character, though, I do like it.
LaRoche.
LaRoche, yeah,
Chris Cooper is pretty solid in most things he's in.
yeah. LaRoche,
Patriot is best role, obviously.
LaRoche was definitely was very standout. I guess we should move on to the next Oscar year.
The 76th.
Oh, before we go though,
Before we go to the next year.
actor affliction, best actor affliction,
I guess he'll fall under the
Reli-
Liam Neeson.
religious persecution.
religious persecution.
Yeah, the same thing as the guy
not really
from
an
1997.
affliction,
Life is
like-
Beautiful. Yeah, he doesn't really have an affliction.
Yeah, I guess though. Yeah, it's kind of falls under that "life is beautiful" category. Unless you were involved in World War II, you have like some sort of affliction.
Judaism was counted as an affliction for like 6 years, according in Germany. We
unless
don't.
you're Denzel Washington or you were portraying somebody in World War II.
Yeah.
Pretty
or Meryl
much.
Streep.
But it doesn't apply to the woman.
I know. So
Chicago,
2003.
13 noms, 6 wins.
God, 13.
Let's move on to
13.
the next year.
Hold on. A2 Mama Tambien, original
Oh,
screenplay.
A2 Mama
It was
Tambien.
nominated for best original screenplay.
A touching movie. It's a lot of
Alfonso
touching.
Cuarón.
Oh, of Gravity. And Children of Men.
Written by Carlos Cuarón
Ooh.
and Alfonso.
Brotherly Love. That movie's
The next year.
has
Jason's impatient.
Okay, 2003. Of course, the year of the king.
That's why I was hesitating because there's not much to talk about this year.
I think
No.
there is.
Yeah, there
Just
is.
not one best picture.
Other than the nothing that won.
Yeah,
else was
not
nominated?
the movie that won 11 awards.
Tied for most ever with Titanic and
It won.
Ben-Hur.
It won everything it
It
was nominated for.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lord of the Rings obviously won. Lost in Translation won. Master and Commander, Far Side of the World, Mystic River, and Sea Biscuit.
He was
Sea
blind
Biscuit.
in one eye.
Sea
Chris Cooper in that movie.
Yeah.
Talking about Tobey Maguire, and he's blind in one eye.
Master and Commander, though, that was probably, as we were talking about,
Episode prior.
yeah, a couple episodes at some point
It's
ago.
fantastic.
Yeah.
With Paul
Better than Return of the
Bettany
King.
and Russell Crowe, just
Yes, arguably
Just a better film.
Yes.
Even though they made the mistake of giving it like a subtitle, expecting to be more. I think that's kind of a bad idea.
What's bad about it is they just didn't make more.
Yeah.
Like they should have.
There really
Like,
was no reason.
maybe it flopped. I'm not sure. We didn't do our research.
I think it made a decent amount of money for what that movie was. It wasn't doing anything like Return of the King. I think it broke $100 million.
I mean, there's a lot of practical effects with the boats.
I'm sure
and
they kept the boat.
Like the sea battles happening.
Yeah, there's two
Like-
sea battles, and I love any kind of battles, space battles, sea battles. There's a sea battle at the beginning.
But I mean, those cost a lot of money, and you don't see. You know what's sad? We don't really see those too much anymore in movies. Like Pirates of the Caribbean was like the last one we ever saw that.
and that
happen.
one went a little off the rails.
Yeah, that went over. Yeah, that went over the waterfall.
Too many ghosts. Yeah, they went into a pit, and there's like a big vortex.
It follows the trilogy trope, so it's fine.
What it does?
The first one good, second one okay.
No, it does not
I
follow
don't
the
know.
tra- The second one, the
one's supposed to be
trilogy
the
trope
best.
is the second one's the best.
Better. Oh yeah, that's right.
The second one is
The first
Oh yeah,
one was
it
the
de-
best.
It defied all.
Curse of the Black
everything.
Pearl
Pirates of
is
the Caribbean just got shittier as it went along, and then they made a fourth one. It's not even a trilogy
Yeah.
anymore. And there's a fifth one coming out.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shit of the Caribbean
But Curse of the Black Pearl was definitely solid.
came out
Good.
this
Jeffrey
year.
Rush.
Can talk about it. One best visual effects, I believe. The first one is good. It's a fun romp. It's way too long. It's almost like 3 hours long.
But the first one,
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours.
it didn't
long.
feel like it. The
No.
second one felt a hell of a lot longer than
Oh,
that.
the third one's even longer. unfortunately.
Guys, the only movie we should be talking about is Lost in Translation.
No. It's okay. What does he whisper at the end? Who cares? Just
No,
kidding.
it's
I
boring.
care. I wanted to know. What did
Felt
Bill
like
say
that
to
was
her?
A boring movie.
Nothing happens.
It's a lot of standing in elevators, feeling awkward and out of place in Japan.
It's just like isn't it so deep? He's just like on the stairmaster, and it keeps going faster.
Yeah, that's when Bill Murray Bill Murray finally realized that he could just be really sad in all of his movies and not be funny anymore.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed Lost in Translation.
Oh, it's great.
That's just called Filmgoat. We're supposed to be ripping on movies here, But
It's a good movie, and I was rooting for Bill Murray to win that year for some reason, just because I love Bill Murray. But it's a nice little
Okay.
strange, friendly romance.
can we talk about the other screenplays? Well, just one other screenplay.
What about Mystic River?
Dirty
That movie.
Pretty Things. The one with the immigrants
Oh.
in the UK.
Haven't seen it.
Neither of you. Wow. Okay. Anybody listening to this, go watch Dirty Pretty Things. It's got Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Chiwetel. That's his name. Yep, that's right.
Okay. I was just making sure. It's a
You are
tough one.
correct, sir.
It's a tough one to pronounce.
It is.
And it also has chick from Emily.
And Chick-fil-A.
What's her name? Also in Da Vinci Code.
Don't know.
Audrey Tattoo.
That's right.
Wow, you guys! Why am I doing a show
Da
with you
Vinci
about
Code?
film?
Well, yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
You brought it
the
over.
Da Vinci Code?
Yeah, fuck those
Really?
movies.
I mean, she's in it. I was just referencing that.
I haven't seen that movie since it came out, and then I've been
Well,
bringing up
you've
the worst
seen
movies.
it.
We've seen Mystic River, haven't we? That was nominated. Clint Eastwood, Sean Penn, Tim Robbins.
Yes.
Other guy.
Sean Penn winning.
He won for Best Actor that year?
Mm-hmm.
As he should have. His girl was killed. It's very sad. He finds her in a fucking bush. No one wants that.
And then Tim Robbins won for Mystic River also.
Yeah. Also very good. That movie's great. I actually had no idea Clint Eastwood directed that until all of a sudden the really depressing ending happens. Spoiler alert. And then directed by Clint Eastwood. I was like, Clint. I'm like, what's happening? Why
Can
are
we
you so sad?
can we mention that the prior Oscar year director and film did not both receive, the same.
Who was the
whatever.
director?
It was last Oscar
Polanski.
year. It was Polanski winning for the
Oh, yeah,
pianist.
Chicago one.
And then Chicago won. This year, though,
Peter
Lord of the Rings
Jackson.
brings us back on track.
yeah, and yep, bringing it back home.
What was Sean Penn's affliction? Depression over his daughter dying?
Yeah, father of a murdered daughter.
Yeah. Husband to an alive wife. Good movie. Depressing movie. Return of the King. Not bad. Fellowship.
Way too
Fellowship's,
long.
Yeah. Well, they're all about the same length. And there are like 10 endings. I don't know how many movies can get away with that. I guess you can say they wrapped everything up, though.
Okay. Of the Best Picture movies, Return of the King, Lost in Translation, Master and Commander, Mystic River, and Seabiscuit, which of those was your favorite? Would you pick? Would you, like, if you wanted to watch one right now, which would you pick?
I think my favorite to watch is Master and Commander, but that's because Mystic River falls in the category of that was great. I don't really. Yeah, it's a great sunny afternoon. Let's put in Mystic River. I think Mystic River had more of an impact on me though the first time I watched it. But Master and Commander, you can pop that in. Fun ship romp. Galapagos Island. It's great. What about you, Jason?
I'll probably go with the same, though I want to say Seabiscuit.
Just to be,
Just to be, you know, the odd one out.
Want to say Seabiscuit.
Yeah.
Seabiscuit. What about you, David?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much agree with Master and Commander. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Like, what am I going to say? Return of the King? Like,
Far Side of the King.
Yeah, I'd rather sit through like 3.5 hours of that. Of the
Mr.
special-
Frodo!
the special edition,
I can carry you.
the extended version.
I can't
Yes.
carry it for you, but I can carry you. Watch as he slowly trudges up the hill.
My precious.
And the damn eagles and the stupid ghost army fixes
The eagles
everything.
are coming.
Pretty cool battle going on. Fight for your lives, and then they bring a ghost army, and it fixes everything. That was very anticlimactic for the greatest battle in Middle Earth.
Well, we'll be back.
Welcome back. This is Filmgoat. So, in our second segment over the last few episodes, we've been going through a list by our friend David here, a sci-fi list, and we are reaching the conclusion of that list of lists.
Yeah, this is the list to end all the lists. So basically, this is the culmination of the 4 lists we've done over the past 4 episodes. It's been great, folks.
What are those for?
Those 4 lists were time travel, space travel,
Terrestrial.
and horror sci-fi. Mm-hmm. So
All sci-fi.
all sci-fi
Not in that
movies.
order.
Yeah.
Yes, but those 4 categories. And so I did my top 10 all-time list, pulling from each of these categories. So to start us off on the top 10 sci-fi all-time list,
Numero Diaz.
at number 10, I have Primer.
Yeah, there it is.
Fucking Primer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had to put it on there. I'm sorry.
Deserves it.
Your apology not accepted.
Now, this is the only indie sci-fi one I put on the list, and it's at 10. Okay. So I give everything else
Should be at 12.
higher priority because it is the indie sci-fi.
Hipster.
But it had to make the list. I had to give a shout out.
Had to make the list.
And once again, just to reiterate my point from when we talked about it before, it's there's a lot going on.
It's a thinker.
Yeah, it's,
Time travel.
yes, it involves time travel. But what's kind of brilliant about it is low budget idea, easily executed.
And executed well.
Yeah,
Make some of the best
exactly.
sci-fi movies. Moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that.
Sunshine.
And especially with this, just using production tricks.
That seemed kind of high budget. Sunshine Day.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that was low.
Touche.
budget.
I forgot I didn't hear the budget.
Yeah, some
part.
big name actors in that one too.
A simple story. Not that it's bad, obviously, but I feel like Sunshine might come up. Maybe we should stop talking.
Yeah,
about
right.
Sunshine.
Anyway,
Moon might come up too.
moving on to number 9, I have Star Trek: First Contact.
Yeah.
You shall be assimilated.
So another time travel one. I got 2 of them out of the way here.
The Borg, awesome. Still awesome.
Yeah, and that's why I had to put it on the list. Of the Star Trek movies, as much as I like Wrath of Khan and as much as I do enjoy the new ones, I think First Contact sticks out in my mind as my personal favorite.
It's a damn good movie.
Now
It's
at
very actiony, but for a Star Trek movie, but it doesn't bother me.
it's certainly. I think that captures the balance well too.
It does.
And two, I think if you go back and watch the First Contact trailer, it's kind of funny. I think it kind of does make it out to be a little more actiony than it actually is. I mean, there's plenty of action in it, but
Most of it's at the beginning,
But
and then
yeah,
everything kind of gets shut down.
yeah, it kind of quiets down there at the end. But that's what's great about it.
And I liked how it First Contact blended in with the Next Generation with when Picard was captured by the Borg.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that whole
Yes,
storyline.
yes,
The TV show, The Next Generation.
yes.
Yes.
In case anyone didn't know, that happened in the TV show, so it kind of built upon that.
Yes. So, if you, as a fan of the show, it gives you something for the. But at the same time, it's
And they
not.
mention
It's
it.
not like you need to have seen that to fully understand
They
what's going
fully
on.
explain it in the movie.
Yeah.
He was captured before. Then they show him as Locutus.
yeah, Locutus.
So anyway, awesome movie.
So yeah, let's move on. We're only at number 9.
Number 8.
Number 8, I have Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back.
Darth Vader's Luke's father.
Spoiler alert.
Battle on Hoth.
Spoiler alert.
They Luke.
Tauntaun cut in half.
Yeah, Battle on Hoth. Great.
AT-ATs are scary when you first see them through like the kind of messed up binoculars. It's like, what the hell are those? And it like backs up. It's like, man, those are big.
Then the
The most dramatic lightsaber
Cloud City,
fight.
Bespin.
Cloud City is such an awesome location.
And,
Lando.
exactly the lightsaber fight, like you were just bringing up, the coloring in the scene in the carbonite room.
It's so good.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's
Classic.
Lots of fog machines, but still.
yeah,
Looks awesome.
it looks great to this day. It's just one of my favorites. Just the way, like again, it's subtle stuff.
And
like
yeah,
that.
it may not like look as spectacular. Even
It's
though I
not
don't-
as flashy.
Yeah, it's not flashy. No one's doing flips, but what's going on dramatically, and it's more realistic, like the way they're fighting. And it's cool because Darth Vader is still fighting with just one arm.
It's more tense.
Not even trying. Yeah, because you have no idea what's going to happen to Luke. At least you're supposed to not.
Yeah, obviously the
Most of us do.
first time through, you're not supposed to know.
Lando
Darth Vader.
Calrissian.
And he's cool,
But
the only black guy in Star Wars.
you know what makes Empire so great in my mind is like Star Wars, kind of sets things up. Star Wars is definitely good. Sets things up though, and Empire just built upon it so well. And just with the reveal at that, like that revelation, like that blew people away.
I wish I could not know it and watch that movie, but we've just kind of known it. People that are younger kind of, and it does
It's
not
just a
diminish
cultural
the movie.
thing now, It's just become part of our
It was that
vernacular.
shocking. Yeah. Even though everyone always says the line wrong, kind of.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
Yes.
like, no, I am your father. It's
Yes.
like, Luke, I am your father.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is nitpicking, but still. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows that he's the father.
Yes.
El Padre.
Darth Father. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
I mean, what movies did the hero get his hand cut off at the end and thrown down a pit?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And I could go on. I could gush
Oh, yeah.
about Star Wars.
But we're going to do a Star Wars episode soon.
Yeah,
so we
we'll
might
tackle
bring
some
up
stuff.
what we prefer.
At 7, I have Contact.
Oh,
I had to put it there.
Carl Sagan.
Just the visuals there at the end when she's going through the wormhole.
Still hold up.
Oh yeah, and
David Morse.
Fucking David Morse.
So it was,
Matthew McConaughey. Hey, David's at a last for word. David Morse.
David Morse is going to be in Concussion.
Oh, great.
The Will Smith.
Oh,
movie.
nice.
I'd rather Will Smith be in Independence Day 2, but we
Yeah.
won't go there.
Moving forward.
I'm still watching football.
Sure, we'll have plenty of time to bitch about that. That's coming out, right?
Yeah.
In May. Is it May
What?
or June? No, it's June, right?
Oh, it should be
Independence
July,
Day.
but I think it's June.
Yeah, I think it's coming out in June. Early. Okay.
Should no matter what day July 4th is on, it should come out on that fucking day.
Okay, so at number 6, I have The Matrix.
All right.
Everyone's just like, okay, move on.
Yeah, no.
Get on with it.
Is that air?
Yeah,
You think it's
okay.
air you're
That's
breathing?
it. Yeah.
Well, I was kind of bummed that we didn't talk about Contact more, but I was like, yeah, I guess there are more movies on this list.
Yeah.
Contact, awesome.
Contact is awesome.
Even though Carl Sagan was
Backpedaling.
yeah, we're backpedaling for half a second. Even though Carl Sagan was admittedly a very scientific man and was not religious, I like how even though he wrote the book and the movie, he gives kind of both sides. He kind of shows like Matthew McConaughey coming from the religious point of view. He makes some sense. Don't have to agree with him per se, but
I think there's some points made about the difference between, spirituality and like religion necessarily.
Religion.
Yeah, like you can still be involved in the church, but still be a scientist because your spirituality doesn't necessarily it's not like the same terminology essentially. It's like you're talking about different things, but we gotta time constraints. We gotta move on.
The Matrix.
Cool. He dodges bullets. Everyone's seen it. It's great.
Yeah, Animatrix, go watch it.
Yeah, it's fucking sweet. If you haven't seen it.
Animatrix probably underrated. I don't hear a lot of people talk about
It's
it.
a better story than the two
Multiple
sequels.
stories.
Yeah, multiple stories.
I mean, the
multiple
last-
styles too.
The second Renaissance or whatever it's called. when
Yes.
It explains how the machines took over. It's fascinating.
Yes,
Fascinating.
yes, it is.
What's number?
Number 5, I have The Thing.
I was wondering where it was going to be.
The Thing.
That's my top pick for horror sci-fi, and it's going off at number 5.
Good movie. Good movie. If you haven't seen it, see it.
It's
There's some weird stuff in it.
The practical effects
So
are
good.
Still creepy because they look so fucked up.
Yeah, they're pretty disturbing, nightmarish imagery. So if you're not into that, don't watch it.
Yeah.
But if you are,
Then do. And hopefully you have seen it.
Yes. Anyway,
That damn dog.
this poor dog.
Number 4.
Number 4, I have Sunshine.
Sunshine.
walking on sunshine.
Yeah, none of those songs are in the movie, but it is
All
a
of
great
them are.
movie. They got to reignite the sun. It's a good plot device.
Our Earth is dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, believable plot device. It's like, okay,
Probably
sun
already-
cools down. I mean, who hadn't heard of that happening? Stars get hotter and cooler all the time, right?
Our sun's dying.
According to science.
And we tried, and that's what I like about it is that they already tried. Something happened in the first one. The ship they're on. What, it's
7
called
years.
Icarus?
Yeah, Icarus won 7 years before. Gets lost.
Mystery.
And I like when movies actually take time or how long it takes to travel through space realistically. Instead of like, oh, we're just going to hyperdrive over here. It's like, no, it's going to take like a year to get there. It's like,
Yeah.
but it's right there. I can see it.
7 years.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah, it takes them. What is it? A year and a half.
It's a while.
It
Trip
All
that
I know
would-
is it takes 12 minutes for light to reach from the sun to
All right, let's
Earth.
do the
He's
math.
memorize this line of dialogue. All right, let's move on
Sunshine.
to number 3, which is Children of Men.
No. Surprising. Great movie. Fantastic movie. As we've discussed before, long shots that are beautiful, especially towards the end. Just a good premise, good execution. And as with the best sci-fi movies, as I was sort of saying with Contact, it makes you think. It shows some fun sci-fi action, but there's a lot of depth going on underneath it. It makes you think of, what would you do if we couldn't have kids anymore?
Also with Chiwetel.
Yeah.
Yes, Chiwetel.
And then let's jump to number 2 here. And I have Terminator 2.
Oh, I just had a feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
As I've said, we've if it was up to us, Terminator 2 would win Best Picture every year. Every year. I mean, it's usually better than most movies I watch. Fantastic. Super actiony, but it has so many sci-fi things going on in it. Can you control your fate? Is the future, are you able to change it? Like,
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff goes on, but it's also just an awesome action movie.
The way I've always viewed it was like the Terminator timeline, it's like solid. Like it never changed. Like Kyle Reese always goes back. Sarah Connor always has John because the picture, that's what clues me off to it. In the first Terminator, he's got the picture that she is taken of her at the end of the movie. He's got that picture in the future. So the events of the film must have played out to bring her to that point in time.
Isn't that picture even in the new Terminator, Genesis?
Yes.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
Well, it's like when you're saying
Yeah.
how solid. Well, when you first said solid, I thought you meant like it's really solid as in good. Then I was like, oh yeah, literally, it just is the same timeline no matter what.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah, because I was like, well, it's not really solid anymore. Like
No.
they kind of messed it up a little bit.
yeah.
But we won't go into Genesis spelled with a Y.
So now to the number 1 all time on my list.
What can it
For me.
possibly be?
For me,
For David.
Avatar.
This is not Filmgoat's top 10 sci-fi.
It's Avatar.
that's banned.
They're just goddamn trees.
At number 1, I have Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah.
Blade Runner
Yep. Good movie.
gets my
Fantastic
top spot.
movie. David loves Blade Runner.
So good.
It is good. I mean, it's a very, when you think of sci-fi, that's one of the things that pops into my head. Absolutely. The
Barely
whole world.
barely any exposition needed. And it just go it's kind of a slow burn. You know, there's a few like action moments, you know, especially towards the end, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not like a huge in your face, you know, action flick. It's definitely meant for meditation.
Almost like a film noir taking place in the future.
Was he a replicant? Was he
Answer
not?
on the questions. All sorts of questions
Dun,
go
dun,
into Blade Runner. I don't think we have time to discuss whether Harrison Ford was a replicant or not.
God. I don't
But,
even want to tackle that question.
No. Well, that's a question you should ask yourself, audience.
Just put it this way: the creators of the film don't even know.
And which version do you recommend? Because there's several of them.
Well, the one I grew up watching was the director's cut, but the one I saw recently was the final cut, which to me seemed pretty much exactly like the director's cut. So I would just watch that.
There's one with a
voice.
voiceover.
That's the theatrical.
That's the main thing.
That's
should
the
look
theatrical.
For. If you hear Harrison Ford talking, you might want to like look for something else.
Yeah, the theatrical version has the voiceover. Don't watch that one.
Because as we just praised it for showing, it completely changes everything, and he just tells what's going on.
Yeah, it's
very lazily,
a whole different
lethargically.
movie, a whole different feel to it. So I recommend watching the.
Make sure no one's
director's
explaining
cut.
to you what's going on while you're watching it.
Yes.
And you'll be good.
So before we go out here, was Deckard a replicant? I'm just kidding. What about my list would you change? Because I know Michael doesn't agree with my top pick.
I mean, I love me some Blade Runner. I wouldn't put Primer on the list. Most of the movies probably would have made there. I probably would have, if I had to pick just one Star Trek movie, I probably would have put Wrath of Khan instead, simply because of what it did. Khan. And First Contact borrows some stuff from, Star Trek 2.
Yeah.
Some of the actiony stuff. That's why Star Trek 2 was awesome, because it was so actiony. They weren't just flying through a cloud the whole movie, even though I do like the cloud flying.
Yeah.
I might have even put that on my list. My list it'd be pretty similar. I just might jumble them up a little bit. Maybe Terminator might be number one. 'Cause that movie
Yeah.
was
What
just
would
so
your
good.
number one be? Terminator. What about you, Jason?
Not sure.
My number one would have been Sunshine.
Great movie. I might have even put Moon on there. There's so many good ones, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
David's
probably
got a
would've had
solid
Moon on there.
list. Just like any good sci-fi movie, you can discuss it, the list, for years. Did he get it right? Did he get it wrong? He got it wrong.
Yeah. Where did I get this wrong? Like, if you sincerely disagree with this list, where did I get it wrong?
Contact us.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
I like Contact. I probably would have put Contact in my top 3. Interstellar might be number 1. Just kidding.
Get the hell
Just
out of here. Banned.
All right.
right.
Before this gets any worse, we're gonna get out of here.
Before we
folks.
talk about Interstellar, we're done.
But yeah, that's it, folks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.